Hey folks, JD here, and today we are, well, what I want to do, I got a few tests planned for the Tello. My new batteries have arrived finally. I bought a twin pack from Amazon. It was around about £30 for the two of them. I was really quite happy with that, and to be fair, I thought what I would do then is I would give it a couple of tests, because obviously my old battery only had 6 minutes of battery life. Actually, I don't even think that much, maybe 5. So what I thought I'd do today is, before we look at the new features in the Tello FPV app, which that'll be coming later on this week, I wanted to go back and have a quick little look at the original Tello app. Now, I've not given that any sort of any love at all since the Tello FPV app has come onto the market. I have pretty much left the Tello app itself, which is the app that you would download when you get the Tello originally. Reason because it wasn't feature packed. It had very simple, very basic commands, features I mean, and those features were things like photo, video, auto land, auto takeoff. That was pretty much it, apart from the ability then to update the firmware of the Tello as well. So I've not really kept up to date with everything on the Tello app itself. So what I wanted to do was just go back, have a little look at it, and see whether it's worth using, or whether, to be perfectly honest with you, if you don't mind paying a couple of quid for the Tello FPV app, if that is by far the best option. And I think for me, refamiliarizing myself with the app and going over a few things here, I think, to be perfectly honest with you, it is much better for me personally, for what I want out of the Tello, to go with the Tello FPV app. Now, okay, it does cost you a couple of pounds, but it is worth it, because there are a set of developers which are working on that constantly and bringing out new updates as well as new features to the Tello. I mean, they're making it look a lot like a mini DJI quad compared to what it did look like, which was just a little aerial selfie drone like that. Now, which we've done a load of different videos on the Tello FPV app. If you want to have a look at them all, you'll find them either in the description or pinned as a comment. There should be about 7 or 8 parts in total. It's quite a lot. I go into a lot of detail, but you'll find them all there. Now, so far, the app is working. The app's working fine. Our battery level looks fine. Wi-Fi looks fine. There's no Bluetooth, which is okay. You know, and more to the point, there is a bit of interference here, which is just flashing up at the screen every now and again. But other than that, everything else is looking absolutely fine. I don't like the fact that there's not that much inside the app. There's not that much that you can do with it. I mean, yes, okay, it's a nice, clear, clean app, nice, clean HUD as well, and I like that. That's nice, but there's no extended features. I mean, you've got headless mode, you've got a few little things, but there's nothing in here. For myself, other than updating the firmware of the Tello, there is no reason, I personally think, to use the Tello app. I mean, I've been flying now for 2 minutes and 14, and it's been working fine. I mean, the app itself is solid. It looks okay. It looks good. It does exactly what it says in the tin, which is to fly the Tello. But at the same time, that's pretty much all it does do. I mean, there's no real other reason that I can see for using the Tello app. I mean, the Tello app in itself is fine if you don't want to spend the money on another app. I can totally understand that. But I think for me, because I do have the other app in my arsenal of RC apps, I think for me the Tello FPV app is probably the one I'm going to stick with. Now, no, I'm not sponsored by Tello FPV, nothing like that. I just like an app which the developers keep active, which they keep on adding new features to, which makes everything look and gives us more features from this Tello. This is a very, very capable machine. No matter what anybody would tell you about it, it is very capable. Now, this is a very Marmite quad, don't get me wrong, so some people love it, some people hate it. Personally, myself, I really enjoy it. I think it is a good quad. Yes, it has its downsides. Every single quad that you're ever going to fly is always going to have your downsides. But I think, above anything, what they were trying to achieve with this, I think they managed to achieve it. I mean, you look now, it's been out for about, what, a year and a half? 2 years, maybe? And there are other quads, like the Mavic Mini, coming onto the market now, which are more expensive, but have a lot better feature set and operate with a lot better a lot more functionality and a lot more accuracy as well. But still, for what this is, a little pocket quad, fits inside the little box I printed out, which fits inside my bag. You know, it's next to no room, and it actually, you know, it's great. And this is my original Tello. Yes, I've had to repair a couple of parts of it, but that's just wear and tear, same as you would for any other quad or any other RC vehicle. I've ordered a few more Tellos as well, so when they eventually arrive, hopefully I should start to build up quite a large arsenal of, quite a large fleet rather, of Tellos. But so far I'm just about halfway down on battery, maybe a little bit less than, a little bit more than halfway maybe. Been flying for 4 minutes and 23, well maybe a little bit more than that. I don't think it started to record exactly the minute that I took off because I was fussing around with it. So maybe we've been flying for about 5 minutes, which would be roughly about halfway of the battery. The battery itself is about 11 minutes. But still, I mean, this is okay. This is, you know, it's doing exactly what I want it to do. You know, it's working very, very well. Now, I think a lot of people were turned off from the Tello when it first came out, just simply because of the fact that firmware was a little bit buggy. You had a lot of frame skipping. Some models were worse than others. Some firmware versions were worse than others as well. So if you had an older version, then your version would be worse. If you had a newer version, it would be better. But then they did release a version in the middle, which really pretty much took it back a few steps. So there were some sort of moving around of the firmware versions, which a lot of people didn't like, and of course, you know, that's not good. It's not going to do a very good amount for your brand if that is the case. For me though, yes, I've had issues. Oh, there's a bird of prey. Yes, I've had issues with it, all documented in the vast videos I've got on the channel, but at this particular stage, the stage that it's at now and has been at for about 6 to 8 months, is that it flies great. Frame skipping is next to nothing. I mean, obviously if you fly slower, then the image processor hasn't got to do as much, and therefore your frame skipping is going to be a lot less, if absolutely nothing, like on here. Yes, okay, there's Wi-Fi issues everywhere. Wi-Fi is not the best medium to be connecting to a quad when you're out in the open. Anything affects it, everything affects it. It's not a fantastic medium. 2.4 in this particular instance, gigahertz is far better than your 5 gigahertz for short distance flight, but at the same time, I still don't like using it. But at the same time, the app makes it nice and easy to control. I mean, so far it's done pretty well. I mean, 6 minutes and 10 of video recording, and the app in itself is doing all right. I mean, it's only a 720p camera. I was really hoping that they were going to do a Tello 2, and I've still got some hope that they might. But at the same time, I'm not holding out a lot of hope, because I would have thought, because with the popularity of this one, I would have thought they would have liked to trail on the back end of it within, like, say, 4 to 6 months after this came out with a second one. But maybe not. Maybe they are working on it. Don't know. But then, if they are working on it, then surely they should be strumming up a bit of hype, because this had a good bit of hype for a good 6 to 8 months before it actually came out. I remember making a vlog video on it a few years ago and just saying, is it going to come out? I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Here's the specs that we know so far. It was pretty much a speculation video, and I have stopped doing those. But at the same time, I like it. I know a lot of people don't. I like it, because for me it means that I can have a nice good quad that I can take out with me for days like today, whether I'm flying here in a field or whether I'm up at work and I take it with me to work and I fly there on lunch hour. Whatever it is, I can ensure that I have a quad that pretty much meets the needs that I want. If you remember, some people who have been on the channel for a long time may remember that I used to take a really small nano quad in my bag to work every now and again. I used to give you weekly updates as to how it was doing, and a lot of those quads just broke and got damaged and everything. But because of that box I printed, this has remained intact. Yes, okay, we've had motor failure, we've had a few other things. I've changed the top of it and whatever else, but more so than anything, it's still working, still going well. So we are down to, battery's getting a little bit less there. It's not terrible, but at the same time, oh, I think I just stopped the video recording. I did. That's a shame. Oh well, let's do it again. But still, I enjoy this quad, and this is why I keep on flying it, and I still have interest in the Tello FPV app, because that really has reignited my my love of this quad, because that just offers so many features. I mean, it's almost like a mini DJI quad, but it is. That's the funny thing. Ryze built a DJI power it, but there we go. That is. It's not low battery yet. I do have Wi-Fi breakup. It does say strong wireless or Bluetooth interference. I mean, anything down here, any issue at all down here. But they were doing quite a lot of work down here a little while ago. That's why I stopped flying around here. But yeah, I think that is the battery. Oh no, there we are. Well, that's going to be the battery soon anyway, so I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to take it back up with another battery in it for the Tello FPV. There we go. So yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. As I say, I enjoy it. I know a lot of people don't, but then at the same time a lot of people do. It all depends on what you want, doesn't it? There we are. Sweet. Oh, that's done and dusted, Mr. Tello. So the new battery handled very well. I'm pretty happy with that. At least it gave me a darn sight more capacity and flight time than my old one, which I've still got. I might still use it from time to time. It's good to have. But there we go. These motors as well. Back to a nice and cool. Front to a nice and cool. It's not an overly cold day here today either. It's pretty warm for such an overcast day. But yeah, everything's pretty quite nice, and I do enjoy this. It's a good little fun quad, and that's what I like. I like all these big technologically advanced quads, but every now and again it's just nice to get something basic, and you know, you can't go wrong with that. I really don't think so. I think that's really good fun. All right then, my friend, I'm going to call that a day there. Thanks ever so much for watching. Oh, actually, before I do that, the app. That's the whole point of this video, John. Yeah, well done, John. So this app, look at it. It is basic, very, very basic. It serves a purpose, which is to fly a quad, but it's not good enough for me, I don't think. I think from a firmware point of view, yeah, fine, update your firmware. Everything else, I think for me, I'm going to stick with the Tello FPV app. Oh, so there we go. I'm only going to use that, and I only have been using that for about 6 months, 8 months for firmware updating. The rest of the time, it's Tello FPV for me. All right then, my friends. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and ring that bell too. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.